Hey, welcome to season. Hey guys, it's me, James Dimaculangan from IT 2105. Now we're going to discuss about the whole summary of the chapter 2 in the subject. Okay, there's a lot to things to talk about in this chapter, like other chapters, but we're going to be more specific and more elaborate. Okay, now first we're going to talk about configure a network operating system, or the OS. Every computer requires an operating system to function, including computer-based network devices such as switches, routers, points, and firewalls. The system networks devices use an operating system called network operating system. A network operating system enables devices hardware to function and provides an interface for users to interact. In the CCNA, of course, the course of study, students learn to configure both devices that connect to the network and devices such as PCs uh, and devices that connect networks together. Intermediary devices like routers and switches. Learning to configure the Cisco Network Operating System or the Cisco IOS on Cisco routers and switches is a large part of the Cisco CCNA program. So the Cisco Internetwork Operating System, or IOS, is a generic term for the collection of network operating systems used by Cisco networking devices. Cisco iOS used for most Cisco devices, of course, regardless of the type of size. The iOS, we are familiar about the user interface. Like in the cell phones we use, the other devices, the main menu on your PC. Yeah, there those were the iOS, where the system can interact with the user, or the user interact with the system. Okay, sorry. You might be thinking, what is the purpose of the OS, or the operating system? Network operating systems are similar to a PC operating system. Like I said earlier, it's like a PC. Though GUI, a PC operating system enables a user to, number one, use a mouse to make selections and run programs. Another is enter text and text-based commands, and view output on a monitor, which for example, you run a program, the program runs and you can see your program running in the monitor. Easy as that. A CLI based network operating system like the Cisco IOS on switch or router enables a network technician to, number one, use a keyboard to run CLI-based network programs, use a keyboard to enter text and text-based commands, uh, and view output on monitor, just like the other three that I mentioned. Yeah, that's that. Cisco operating devices run particular versions of the Cisco iOS. The Cisco iOS version is dependent on the type of device being used and the required features, while all devices came along with it default iOS and feature set. It is possible to upgrade the iOS version of feature set to obtain additional capabilities. In this course, you will focus primarily on Cisco iOS release 15X. The figure displays a list of iOS software releases of the for a Cisco Catalyst 2960 switch. Now we're going to switch to the configuration command modes. To configure the device, the user must enter global configuration mode, which is commonly called global config mode. From global config mode, CLI configuration changes are made that affect the operation of the device as a whole. Global configuration mode is identified by a prompt that ends with this sign which says the open parenthesis config close parenthesis ampersand or hashtag. After the device name such as this, yan, yun. Global configuration mode is accessed before other specific configuration modes. From global config mode, the user can enter different sub-configuration modes. Each of these modes allows the configuration such a particular part of function of the iOS device. Two common sub-configuration modes include line configuration mode, used to configure console, SSH, telnet, or aux access. The second one is interface configuration mode, to configure a switch, port, router, network interface. When using the CLI mode, is identified by the command line prompt that is unique to the mode. By default, every prompt begins with a device name. Following the name, the remainder of the prompt indicates the mode. For example, default prompt for line configuration mode is switch config -line, then the hashtag, it's the command, and the default prompt for interface configuration mode is switch config -if, then $. I will put the command later. Okay, the iOS command syntax. A command might require one or more arguments to determine the keywords and arguments required for a command. Refer to the command syntax. The syntax provides the pattern or format that must be used when entering a command. As identified in the table in the figure, bold text indicates commands and keywords that are entered as shown. Italic text indicates an argument for which the user provides the value. For instance, the syntax for using the description command is description string. The argument is a string valued provided by the user. The description command is typically used to identify the purpose of an interface. For example, entering the command description connects to the main headquarter office switch, describes where the other device is at the end of the connection. The following examples demonstrates conventions used to document and use iOS commands. A ping IP address. The command is ping and the user-defined argument is the IP address and the destination device. The other is traceroute IP address. The command is traceroute and the user-defined argument is the IP address of the destination device. The Cisco iOS command reference is the ultimate source of information for a particular iOS command. Now, for the last thing that I will discuss is save the running configuration file. There are two system files that stores the device configuration. Number one is startup config. The file stored in non-volatile random access memory or NVRAM that contains the commands that will be used by device upon startup or reboot. NVRAM does not lose its contents when the device is powered off. The second is running config. The, the file stored in random access memory or the RAM that reflects the current configuration. Modifying a running configuration affects the operation of a Cisco device immediately. RAM is volatile memory. It loses all of its content when the device is powered off or restarted. So guys, I guess that was it for the chapter 2, the part of chapter 2 in the Cisco Natarad. Thanks for watching. Hope you learned. Thank you.